Welcome back to our live coverage of Germany against Argentina, a rematch 52 days on from the World Cup final, only with a rather different scoreline here. Argentina winning 2-0 in Germany with two very well worked goals. Second half here about to get underway. I think we might be about to see Thomas Müller coming on for Germany, who do have a competitive game coming up on Sunday in Dortmund against Scotland, the first of their European Championship qualifiers. Might be a rather different looking side there with Müller in. I think Özil will be fit for that game. Not sure about Boateng and Hummels. Goetze could come in. Not Sami Khedira, who is going to be out for about 6 weeks with a thigh muscle injury, we understand. So Manuel Neuer's coming off, and Roman Weidenfeller, the goalkeeper who was the oldest ever goalkeeping debutant for Germany when they won at Wembley last season against England. Yet another Dortmund player brought into the action.
I think Jogi Löw might have done Manuel Neuer a favour there. I think he realises game's a little bit out of their hands so far, and give Weidenfeller the opportunity to come in and get an opportunity to play. But Manuel Neuer obviously is the clear #1 choice.
6 substitutes allowed for each side. It can be an ever-changing chorus line in the second half of these friendlies, which can rather disrupt the rhythm, unfortunately. But it's been well worth watching a game between these two so far. I thought it was an absorbing game at the Maracanã that night, even though there were no goals in the 90 minutes. So what can Germany do about this? They certainly won't want to come home to a defeat.
Well, I think they need to improve in all aspects, especially in finishing in front of the goal. You think about Gomez with the 3 chances that he had, could have easily scored. I think Aguero in those positions would have scored.
Podolski chasing that one through. There's a lot of talk that Arsenal might be selling him before the Olivier Giroud injury, or at least loaning him out, but that hasn't happened. Augusto Fernandes, right-sided player, has come on to replace Enzo Perez in one of the changes made here by Argentina. We'll keep you up to date with these substitutions as best we can. Often plays pretty much as an authentic right winger, Augusto Fernandes of Celta Vigo, the Spanish club. 10th cap for him. Biglia, the player brought down, started in the World Cup final, did a good job too.
Oh, it's just a mistake from Grosskreutz, and Kramer giving the ball away. Biglia wins it back, and Kramer commits the foul. Again, Di Maria on the ball in a crucial position.
Di Maria swung into a great area, and 3-0 up. The first thing Weidenfeller is going to have to do is pick the ball out of the back of his net. Again, it was a Di Maria assist, and Jogi Löw cannot believe this. Right at the start of the second half.
Well, it's just a great ball in from Di Maria. Weidenfeller's not sure if he should come out. Probably should have came and caught it or punched it.
It's Fernandes who got it, the new Swansea defender, Federico Fernandes.
Fernandes just at the back post. Good brave header in that position. Again, Ginter struggling defensively to cope. Fernandes does well, gets his head on it. Might have injured himself as well, but such a dreadful start to the second half for Germany.
Well, he was a brave header too. He was in collision with the woodwork afterwards, but he gets his 3rd goal for his country. Well, I don't think anybody saw this kind of scoreline here tonight.
Well, defensively, it looks so poor, Germany. There's so much space for Argentina to play into, and even that situation there was a mistake from Grosskreutz and Kramer that led to the free kick. And Di Maria has been sensational so far. This is his 3rd assist in this game. When they get the ball into these forward players, Argentina look dangerous.
I'm not sure whether these Scotland players and Gordon Strachan watching this in their camp will be encouraged or a bit worried they'll get the reaction from this on Sunday.
Well, as you said, there'll be changes to that side. You think about Götze and you think about Muller, Podolski potentially to come into the side. I don't think Gomez will start up front after such a poor showing in the first half. And as you said, this is a friendly game with a qualifier coming up. I think Germany in competitive games will play very, very differently.
The World Cup win was their first trophy since 1996 when they won the European Championships in England, captained by Jürgen Klinsmann.
Some would say 96, not that long ago.
That's quite long ago now, Owen. It's 18 years, isn't it?
I think we've been waiting a bit longer than that.
Don't remind me. Well, it's a fantastic start this for Tata Martino, who did a very good job in his time in charge of Paraguay, got them to a World Cup quarter-final. Another really good move. It's Di Maria again with Aguero waiting in the middle, but Di Maria didn't need him. He scored himself. He's made 3, scored 1, and Argentina are running riot, 4-0 up.
But you could see that developing, even from the center of the pitch. Derm again getting caught out. Such a great 1-2. Di Maria sees the space in behind, and it's such a beautifully worked goal, and the finish is remarkable. You can see it develop from here. Zabaleta, great 1-2. Zabaleta plays the ball in behind. Again, Halverdes, Ginter doesn't get across. That is some finish from Di Maria. And Weidenfeller has barely touched the ball, and as you said, he's picked the ball out of the net twice. 3 assists, and that is some chip in that situation.
Well, that left foot of his is a magic wand on occasions.
Well, as you said before, how many players in the world would have seen where he played in with the outside of his foot? Not many players would have been capable of that finish in that situation after a 50-yard run. He's been frightening so far.
Well, imagine if he's setting up opportunities and doing this kind of thing with Falcao on the end of the chances. Maybe Van Persie and Rooney around as well.
They just got to find a team where they can accommodate all these star players, these attacking players. I think it's great when they're in possession and they have the ball, but how's it going to work defensively where people need to fill in and cover? That's one thing Louis van Gaal is going to have to spend some time figuring out.
Getting the blend right. That's all for the future when the Premier League resumes. Here's Marco Reus. Or really, Germany. Schürrle couldn't score. It was blocked. Now he does. 4-1. It's Andre Schürrle of Chelsea this time.
Well, you can say you want, but Schürrle's probably not the most beautiful player to watch, but he's so effective. A bit like Thomas Muller in these areas. He always pops up in the box in the right place at the right time. Romero gets a hand on it, a bit of a body on it in the end. Strange tackle from Biglia in the end. Looks like he can clear it, and Schürrle just gets there and taps it in with his toes, and Argentina just switched off for a second.
Schürrle's 17th international goal for Germany, and this is 40th cap. Got 3 at the World Cup, as we were saying earlier on. That's 4-1. Something for the Germans to bite at. Mascherano feeding it wide. It's another great run. And just about, Weidenfeller at the second attempt punches it clear. The first thing the sub-goalkeeper had to do was pick the ball out of the back of the net from that Fernandes header. By the way, all 4 of the Argentina goals and the German one from players from the Premier League.
Well, you think about Di Maria. I mean, he probably didn't have as big impact in his debut at Burnley, but he's been frightening today. 3 assists in 1 goal, and again he gets the ball at his feet. He just runs at Derm. Can't cope with him for a second. He almost scores another one.
Lamela, who's looked very comfortable. Wasn't picked for the World Cup squad, but making a fair statement of his talents tonight. He does look a new player this year with his injury problems behind him. Di Maria on yet another run. Will he play the full 90? I think Germany will be hoping not.
I think this is where he's played a lot for Real Madrid, off that right-hand side, drifting in and be able to pick passes or have a shot from that right-hand side. I think he's very effective in that position. I think he was very effective in the central midfield area last season for Real Madrid. I think it could be a great addition to Manchester United, playing off that right-hand side, cutting inside.
Played wide by Mascherano, forward by Zabaleta. Durm doing the covering. Only his second cap. The Borussia Dortmund youngster playing at left back. And he'll be quite glad that he doesn't have to mark Di Maria every time.
Well, he's not going to want to remember this very fondly. Second cap, I mean, so difficult going up against the speed of Di Maria. I think he's caught him by surprise on numerous occasions, just be able to skip past him, and Di Maria, every time he sees Durm, he just runs straight at him because he knows he can't stop him.
I think the phrase is steep learning curve, isn't it?
Well, there's probably not many players you're going to play against like Di Maria, and as you see, Götze and Muller about to come on. They need goals on this side, and these two definitely have that in them.
Played back by Huberdez, playing in his more usual central defensive role here, with both Hummels and Boateng out injured for this game.
They could probably do with a couple of centre-backs as well to come on, I think, the way these two have played.
Of course, all the German fans turning up for this game with these smart new shirts, which have 4 stars on now, denoting the 4 World Cup wins. That equals Italy, only Brazil ahead on 5.
Well, it's supposed to be a celebration, you know, and I think it was before kick-off, sending off 3 of their best players, and Mertesacker, Klose and Philipp Lahm. But as soon as this game started, Argentina controlled possession, as you see now, and been clinical in front of goal, and it's been one-way traffic virtually all game.
Into touch by Ginter. Guerrero laid it inside. Beglia looked to feed it wide to Lamela, who was waiting in space on the left-hand side. That's better from Germany to Schürrle. I wonder who's going to come off. Will it be Mario Gomez? I wonder, with Muller playing furthest forward. We shall see.
I think there's every chance Gomez will come off. He's really struggled at 3 great chances.
Schürrle is one of those who will make way. And Mario Gomez is the other. So you'd think these 2 changes would almost certainly strengthen Germany. One Mario for another. Götze for Gomez. And Thomas Muller, who's got 10 goals in his 2 World Cups so far, comes on. He could be closest record down the line, couldn't he?
I think he must be the most effective football player I think I've ever seen. I mean, he's, as I said earlier, probably not the most beautiful to watch, but he's so effective in front of goal. He's so intelligent finding space.
He's picked up a little bit of a knock straight away. Close to Grosskreutz. Here is Muller. his movement is so intelligent, isn't it? I think that's the secret of why he comes up with so many international goals.
He is. I mean, as you see, often his first touch isn't great. You know, it bounces and it bubbles. But what he does, he affects the game without the ball. He runs into areas where he can impact the game. He's very intelligent in where the game is about to develop. I think he just has an instinct or a feel for a dangerous situation, and it's hard to compare him to anybody else in the world, because I think he's just so effective at doing that. And I think a lot of other players, young players, want to get the ball and run at players like this, but Muller impacts the game, as you see, running off the ball there, trying to find a space where he can be effective.
Played in towards Podolski. Germany still believing that they could rescue this. They were in a game, of course, in qualifying for the World Cup where they led 4-0 and were pulled back to 4-4 by Sweden. And that was a bit of a sensation. Götze getting involved, and now Marco Reus. They've got the bigger battalions out there now. Reus again. It's all clever stuff so far. Do they get a penalty? No, they don't. Get up, says the referee. Podolski was the player who went down. Romero only half won it, and Reus's block-up shot was blocked by Zabaleta. Ginter won the header. Dimichelis hacked it away. Muller got a toe to it, but then Rocco did well. I think you can tell the way Germany are going about this now, their pride and ego bruised.
Well, again, I mean, if Lamela plays a better ball, Di Maria is in again. You know, I think they're on the front foot now. As you see, Argentina are penned in. I think the changes of Muller and Götze will help to create some more chances. But, you know, they should be. I mean, they're the world champs on home soil in front of these fans. These fans will not be happy with being down 4-1. They just need to be careful they don't open up too much and Argentina hits them on the counter-attack again.
Zabaleta, no angle for that one. Here's Mario Götze, whose name will forever be written in German football folklore, whatever happens in the rest of his career.
Well, it will be the biggest moment of his career. He's only still very young, very talented player. Probably hasn't hit the heights that people have anticipated of him so far. He's been so effective at Dortmund and basically been cut off the bench at Bayern Munich and for Germany. But to come on and have a moment like that in his young career is remarkable.
He was famously sent on, wasn't he, by Jogi Löw with the instruction, go out there and show the world what you can do. He did.
Well, and he's done that, and as we said, he'll probably never have a bigger moment in his career, but he's such a talented young player for Germany and for Bayern Munich, and he's still so young with such experience already.
Half an hour left. Yes, that scoreline, top of your picture, is right. Germany 1, Argentina 4. Kramer dispossessed by a whole lot of blue shirts pressing around him. Muller tries to help it on. Here's Di Maria again. Slalom run from him. He's had a fabulous game here tonight. Now Lamela, who hasn't been too shabby either.
Well, considering he's a left-footed player, Di Maria, you'd think he would want to play on the left side. But I think he, as you've shown today, has been so effective coming in off that right-hand side, drifting inside. As you said again there with that slalom run, he's virtually unstoppable when he can come in, face up defenders and run at them.
Muller tries to thread it through into the path of Götze, but not that time between the two Bayern Munich players. Away by Dimichelis. Time Di Maria's touch didn't quite find Biglia, and back come Germany again. Can they carve out something else? It's Marco Reus. Now then, what does the referee say this time? He says corner after Fernandez's challenge.
Well, such a great tackle from Fernandez. He gets his foot right on the ball. Reus in space on the counter-attack is so difficult to defend, but Fernandez so far has done tremendous.
Fernandez, who lost his place to Di Michelis halfway through the World Cup. Reus to curl it in, and Romero makes it stick this time. Sampdoria goalkeeper, and he's just hurt something or other there. Looks like maybe a calf muscle. Unhappy landing by the look of it. Romero was on the short list for the Golden Glove at the World Cup, won by Neuer. You remember he made those saves from Vla and Schneider in the shootout against the Netherlands in the semi. Wide by Fernandez. Germany do have the odd hiccups in friendlies. I mentioned that 1-0 loss they had here against Norway. I remember another one with them being beaten 5-3 by Switzerland on the way into the 2010 World Cup.
Well, as you said, they really struggled in friendlies.
Reus, too long for Thomas Muller, way too long.
But as we said at the start of the broadcast, you know, this team would never win the World Cup set up as it did today with that back four. You know, as I said, Ginter Halverdes is a massive mismatch against the top strikers in the world, like Aguero, and it's proven that today.
Just feeling that injury still. Romero, the goalkeeper. They do have a backup in Mariano Andujar of Napoli. Rocco gave the ball away there. Close, all too tight. Lamela. Could be something on here. Aguero. Di Maria. And Lamela was the player trying to get on the end of that one. They've looked dangerous almost every time they've attacked.
Well, it's probably been unselfish there, Di Maria. Probably could have gone into a 1v1 again with Derman come inside and had a shot with his left foot, but being very unselfish that he has tried to play in. Lamela. Aguero was on as well. Not his best ball tonight, but to think he's set up 3 and scored 1.
Couldn't quite play in Mario Götze. That's the goal scored by Federico Fernandez, and this is the 4th by Di Maria.
Well, it's been the Angel Di Maria show virtually all night. I've rarely seen a better performance in a long time, individual performance. Argentina have been very good, but Di Maria has been outstanding, and I think defensively Germany have been so poor.
In time, Rocco gave the ball away. Can Germany make something of this? Götze tries to help it on. It's Reus. And it's wide.
I think you said earlier, Reus hasn't had the impact we've been accustomed to, and again in that situation, great little flick from Götze. If anything, there you probably would have expected a little dink or a chip over top of Romero. Romero's off his line, could have happened, but just scruffs it wide, and great day's work from Lamela.
Yeah, he will have made a very good impression. Only called into the squad because Lionel Messi and a few others were injured. And he gets a warm look and handshake from the new coach. And on comes the defensive midfield player, Fernando Gargo, who did come on in the 85th minute in Rio 52 days ago. Free kick for that.
too easy for Argentina to play out of those positions. You think about coming out of the back so easy, no pressure on the ball from Germany. Gago's going to come on and just try and dictate the tempo in the center of the park, but cynical foul from Cruz, and Rocco has quietly had a good game himself.
Yellow card for Cruz. He gave the referee a bit of an old-fashioned look, as if to say, what, in a friendly? I think the answer was, yep.
I think it's a yellow card in any game.
Yeah. It's Augusto Fernandez. Di Maria on the left-hand side this time. I think Real Madrid might miss him. And certainly the other players are going to miss him. He was a very popular player there. Aguero. To Di Maria again.
I'm not sure why he switched sides. He was so effective coming off the right-hand side. He's come to this left, and every time he's got it, he's gone backwards, or he's gone into the center of the park, whereas when he was on the right, he was coming inside, getting a cross or a shot.
Biglia, they find him again. And that might have been the first bad ball he played tonight. It still ended up with a blue shirt. And the referee might be reaching for a card again here. He is. To Podolski this time.
Well, it's a clear foul on Zabaleta. Follows right through. Great touch inside from Zabaleta. That's nasty, standing on his foot. I'm not sure he meant to stand on his foot, but he stands on his right foot, and that's painful. Obviously a clear yellow card.
So Rudy coming on here to replace Cruz. Sebastian Rudy. So he'll slip into the midfield. Only his second cap. Zabaleta is still down. That was a pretty robust challenge from Podolski.
I'm not sure why they're working on his right quad. It's his right foot that's probably going to be pretty sore that he stood on.
Don't forget to stay with us after we're off the air tonight with this game. We've got Sports Hub update coming for you at 10 o'clock tonight with all the latest news. Big night of international friendlies being played, of course, all around the world. Here's the corner kick, which goes a long way. It took a brave header by Ginter to get that out of harm's way. Wasn't quite sure where that was ending up, the youngster.
Great ball in again, and that's where you need to be as your centre-backs, winning those headers. He hasn't done that today in the games I've seen him so far for Dortmund. As I said, he really struggled on his debut against Leverkusen. He's really struggled again tonight. Obviously a talented young player, but it's a big step up to play at this level.
He obviously likes him though, doesn't he? Because he picked him for the World Cup 23, so says something. Again, Di Maria with a ball into another area which had the German defence guessing.
I mean, you think about Argentina building this team around Lionel Messi, but if you look at the performance of Di Maria tonight, I mean, they've kind of built around him with Messi's absence, and he's looked as good as any player you've seen at this level.
Argentina in no mood to let this slip. They've been on the end of a couple of famous 4-goal beatings from Germany in World Cups.
I think if Argentina can sort the centre-back position out, they have so much talent all across the pitch, especially attacking-wise. They could compete with any side.
Wasn't a great ball in from Grosskreutz. I think Jogi Löw getting a reminder here, as if he needed one, how much Germany will miss Philipp Lahm.
Well, Philipp Lahm, I mean, he was so effective as a left back, then as a right back. You think about Durm today, and only his second game for Germany, he's really struggled. You know, I don't think that's a solution going forward. You think about the right back position. Grosskreutz is a great squad player, but he's not a starter for a country like Germany. As I said, they would never win the World Cup with some of these players in this starting 11. The centre backs, Hummels and Boateng, will come back in, will form a great partnership, but the team set up today has really struggled.
Aguero dropping really deep to link up with his Manchester City teammate Pablo Zabaleta. Here's Kramer. Certainly had physicality in that central midfield area. Rudy helps it forward. And away comes Di Michelis, booked on earlier on in the game, you might remember. Di Maria. 3, 4 of them around him. None of them could do anything about it. He has just been electric tonight.
Unbelievable. I mean, really, in a friendly, to put in this much effort after 75 minutes, to keep going, all the chances that he's created, all the effort that he's put into the game, has been exceptional.
And I'm sure every Argentina fan watching will be thinking, how different might it have been in the Maracanã if he'd been fit and firing and ready to play.
Well, you can guarantee it would have been different. You think about the Real Madrid side, I think everybody's disappointed that he left Cristiano Ronaldo. Everybody voiced their displeasure because he's had such an impact on all the teams that he's played on. You think about missing the World Cup final, he would have had a massive impact. He's been the best player on this pitch by some distance tonight.
Hobades had a very good World Cup in that left back position, solid as a rock he was. I wonder if he'll be back there for the Scotland game at the weekend. It'll be depending on the reports from the physios on other players. Ginter playing it out wide. Goetze with the layoff. Oh, and off the inside of the post. It was a fabulous effort from Marco Reus.
Well, it's a great piece of play from Durm, getting forward into an attacking area where he is comfortable passing the ball. It's a great layoff from Goetze. Just tease it up for Reus, and normally in those areas, Reus hits the back of the net.
So Zabaleta, having taken that knock, is going to be replaced here by Hugo Campagnaro, who has been named in Inter's Europa League squad. Not everybody thought that he would be. Campagnaro, who will replace Zabaleta, made his debut for the country at the age of 32. Player has come through the Argentinian second and third divisions before his time in Italy. Nico Gaitan of Benfica, who scored at the weekend in the derby against Sporting Lisbon, is coming on to Rudiger's on there as well. The defender going for that header. Kramer dug out a decent looking cross there, well cleared by Campagnaro. Romero got something on it. Goetze back in, took a deflection, 4-2.
I'm not quite sure what Romero's doing. He doesn't catch anything. You know, there's so many opportunities where he can just catch the ball and make it so much easier on himself. We saw that at the World Cup. A lot of the goalkeepers not catching, preferring to punch. Really poor goalkeeping, but it's good play from Germany, and I'm not sure what Romero's doing there, but Goetze gets lucky with the deflection. I think it comes off Fernandez.
Yeah. And that might actually go as an own goal, because I'm not sure Gertz's shot was going in.
No, that was definitely going wide, but you just think about Romero, you think about the mistakes that Argentina have made today, have all come from him playing out the back, or that's a goalkeeping mistake in my opinion from Romero, completely unnecessary. What's been offensively a remarkable evening.
12 minutes remaining. The referee is just wanting to make sure that Romero is okay. He's been struggling for a while. I'm not quite sure they haven't made the goalkeeping switch, because he really has been in difficulties.
Well, it looks like he's got a cramp. I think it's more just an excuse because he made such a poor mistake there, and he's blaming on his calf, or he's tired, or what. He seemed to be fine for 20 minutes, and time for a change.
Yeah, they're going to bring on Andujar now for his 11th cap. Well, Germany will still believe they can pull this round. 4-2, just over 10 minutes left.
Well, they've been so poor, and you know they're finding a way to get back in this game. Argentina still look very dangerous on the break, but you think about Romero, he hasn't played well tonight, made some mistakes. Allowed Germany to see if they can creep back into this game.
Well, he might have some important work to do in the time remaining, the sub-goalkeeper. Here's Rüdiger. Plays for Stuttgart and has been in impressive form. Youngster who was at Dortmund as a teenager and has played at all the age group teams for Germany, from under 18 through to 21. Just a second cap for Rüdiger in possession now. This is Rudy.
Rudy's looked good since he's come on. I think he's added a bit of control to the center of the park. He's looked comfortable with what he's had to do. I think Kramer, in my opinion, struggled tonight against such talented opposition, and Rüdiger normally plays as a right back, but is playing as a center back tonight.
Biglia brings it away. Rüdiger's got a little bit of work to do here. His shirt was being tugged by Di Maria, who did get 4 red cards during his time at Real Madrid. That might surprise a few people, such a creative talent.
Well, that's a great touch from Rüdiger as well on the turn for a centre back. Does very well. Obviously a clear foul from Di Maria. You don't mind some of these flair players having a bit of a aggressive side at times, as long as it doesn't cost the team. Red cards are never good.
Rocco might be in trouble for that one. Is it just a talk? It's just a talk. Must have been close to yellow. Kramer. Across to Rudy, who's looked quite a composed presence, as Owen was saying, since he's come on in that central midfield position, replacing Kroos, which is always a pretty big job, of course. I wonder if they can carve out a chance for Thomas Muller or Marco Reus in the time remaining. Pacey run, well covered. Rüdiger made sure Aguero went no further.
I think Rüdiger's done more defensively in 2 minutes than Havertz and Ginter. Again, another mistake from Ginter, who's really struggled this evening. Defensively he struggled, but I think one of the things he's best at is passing, and he puts it out of play there.
So another change about to be made here, and they are going to bring on Nicolas Gaetan of Benfica. to replace Sergio Aguero, who scored the first goal tonight. Gaetan wearing Aguero's usual shirt number 20. Do you like him?
I think he's a very talented player. Some people thought he was going to switch to the Serie A in the transfer window, but he's still at Benfica, and they got a very talented group of players. You think about Enzo Perez, who started the game in the first half, who looked very comfortable in the center of the park. There were rumors for him to leave as well. I mean, they have so many options in forward areas, Argentina. It's quite remarkable, really.
No Lavezzi tonight. He's out injured, although he is listed among the substitutes. We believe he's simply there on the list and will not play any part. And that is a fantastic save, in fact, from Romero. Just looking at that earlier effort from Royce, there might be something here as well as earlier on. This is a replay you're watching of the goal, which I think probably should go down as an own goal. I don't think Gertz's shot was going in. Laid inside to Kramer, now Rudy. Grosskreutz. It's blocked by Rocco. Di Maria, the counter-attack is on here. It's Gaetan. Rudiger did pretty well there.
How quick is he for a centre-back? I mean, that's the great thing of having young legs in the side, and looks very comfortable defending on his own in big spaces. You probably see him play against Scotland even after this short cameo. I think Jogi Löw will be pleasantly surprised.
Germany, by the way, also played the Republic of Ireland in their European Championship qualifying group on the 14th of October in Gelsenkirchen. Well, Di Maria, no doubt about it, star of the show tonight. He's been wonderful. Involved in 3 of the goals and scoring another. He did score in Argentina's win in a friendly 2 years ago in Frankfurt as well. On comes Sunderland's new boy, Ricky Alvarez.
I think if we go back to Di Maria, even the German fans were applauding him off the pitch. They've probably rarely seen such a dominant individual performance for a long time. He was, as we said, head and shoulders the best player on the pitch.
Remember, this is Argentina without Lionel Messi tonight, who has a groin injury at the moment. 5 minutes remaining. 4-2 to Argentina, who were 2 up at the break, scored 2 more very quickly after half-time. Durm forward to Royce. He was rather needlessly fouled by Federico Fernandez.
Well, as you said, can they find a way to get back in it? Royce's set piece has been so poor this evening, but normally from these situations he can be deadly, and if they can find a way to get a goal back, they could be back in this game.
Royce takes it with some pace, and it was difficult to defend. Germany think that should be a corner kick, claiming that Campagnaro got the last touch. Let's see.
That comes off Campagnaro. Great ball in from Royce.
Here is the corner kick. Gargo got it away. A nice bit of catching practice for Andujar, the substitute goalkeeper. Looks like being Germany's first defeat for 15 months. Goetze plays it wide. It's all a bit tight over there. Royce, Podolski, Royce. Kramer inside. Lovely move this so far. Grosskreutz joining in the end. They just maybe overplayed it.
Well, as you said, it's such a great move from Germany from one side to the other. And that's the difference between Philipp Lahm in that position and Grosskreutz. Grosskreutz doesn't have the technical ability of the feet to take a good touch and put a cross in. That's where they're going to miss a player like Philipp Lahm even more so.
Here's the corner kick. Argentina want the good news going back to Buenos Aires of a revenge win over Germany. Not that it's truly revenge. This is a friendly. The other one was very much for all the marbles, wasn't it? Here's Muller. We haven't seen a lot of him since he came on. Not really. Goetze couldn't bring it down.
Oh, Goetze has had a good impact on the game since he came on. I think Germany looked better since Mario Gomez has gone off. Good skill from Thomas Muller, trying to get back in the box. Poor touch from Goetze.
One more Germany goal would set up a bit of a finish in stoppage time, wouldn't it? Clever piece of play. Goetze tried to find Muller. Di Michelis' challenge was excellent. And Mascherano to Biglia. Keeping the ball well, Argentina. This is Gargo, who was really a bit of a bit part player in the end at the World Cup. Didn't start in the final. Doing a good job here, just taking the heat out of things by keeping the ball. Martino, the new coach, said the result didn't matter before the game. He might think it matters a little more afterwards.
I think even he was shocked when Di Maria came off. I think the way he embraced him, it was such a dominant performance individually from Di Maria. To score 4 goals in Germany. I know it's a friendly, and I know they would have rather won the World Cup final, but it's a great start for any manager to go to the world champions and win and score 4 goals.
Well, if you are calling that last goal an own goal from Fernandes, it remains the case that all 6 goals have been scored by players from the Premier League. Grosskreutz lays it inside. Rudy lays it wide. Muller inside. Big shoes to fill at right back. That position very much up for grabs, I would suggest, in the German side.
Well, I don't think Grosskreutz can fill him. You think about Rudiger's come on, and in 10 minutes, it's been a very short little cameo, but he's looked terrific. He's looked quick. He's had a good touch when he's needed to. And I think he'll be one of the players that look forward to. But I think Ginter and Grosskreutz have struggled both tonight.
Augusto Fernandes back to Gargo. Just happy to keep the ball in these triangles if they can. Argentina. It's definitely a feel-good win for them as they move into the next cycle. Next World Cup is in Russia in 4 years' time, although there is talk already of a possible boycott of that World Cup for the obvious political reasons which exist at the moment involving the Ukraine question. Fernandes to help it forward. Cut out by Podolski. Oh, no shortage of entertainment, but he might not have found it too much fun. Jogi Löw here, assessing a lot of the new breed, and not too many of them, you'd say, certainly according to Owen alongside me, have passed the audition.
Well, I think we talk about the depth of the Germany side, but as we said at the start, Germany would never win the World Cup with this team. And I think, you know, they're lacking those key players. You think about Philipp Lahm and Schweinsteiger have a big impact on this side. Khedira to come back on the side, that's a big part of this team. Boateng and Hummels, you know, it's a great audition for some of these young players, but in all honesty, you know, they failed tonight against a very talented Argentina side, it has to be said.
Yeah. Could always draw too many conclusions from the results of friendlies. Nobody's probably going to remember this too much in the wider scheme of things down the road, but on the night, just one or two little pointers maybe. Rudiger finds a good ball as well. He has made quite a good impression since he came on the pitch.
Well, I think there have been bright spots. As you said, Rudiger's been one for me. Even though he's only played 10 minutes, he's played very well. Rudy has looked composed at the centre of that midfield. Hasn't made one mistake so far since he's come on for Toni Kroos. So there are positives, but I think defensively you've got to be concerned. Grosskreutz, Ginter, Halverdes, against the top sides of the world, you're going to struggle, and they have tonight.
And that is the final whistle. The rematch has a different result entirely. A 4-2 win for Tata Martino in his first game in charge of Argentina. Fully deserved as well against a somewhat experimental German side who did come back with a couple of goals when it looked like they were really going to have their noses rubbed in the dirt. But it's Argentina who take the spoils this time, and the world champions are beaten for the first time in 15 months. Final score then here in Düsseldorf. Germany 2, Argentina 4, as we throw it back to Des Kelly.
Thanks, Ian. What a match. Germany 2, Argentina 4. Didn't just wreck the party, they stole the beers, smashed the stereo and stamped on the cake as well. We'll bring you all the analysis in a moment. Loads more great football from across the continent to look forward to here on BT Sport on Friday, the 12th of September. Leverkusen take on